With Pesach coming up, I'm reflecting on my childhood and what I remember and how we gradually drifted further and further away from practicing most practices in Reform Judaism, which my grandmother was born and raised Orthodox, so we had a relatively Orthodox early childhood. But as time went on, progressively, things began to become more and more out of our financial reach. And so we started practicing less and less and stopped participating in most Jewish holidays and customs and things like that. And a few years ago, I wanted to try to get back into it. Now, I'm reconnecting with Judaism because I want to reconnect with my family. It feels really weird to say because at the core of it all, I'm still a polytheist. However, I do believe in God. I just don't really even know how to word this. My gods will always come before Hashem. I'm ethnically Jewish. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. And it's also part of my family culture. And it's just progressively gotten more and more distant. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is when I first started trying to get back into those celebrating the holidays that we used to celebrate growing up, I was relearning about Pesach because I was very young when we started drifting further away from, I don't want to say from Judaism, but we were becoming more spiritually Jewish than we were religiously Jewish. So I found this woman's channel on YouTube at the time. I don't remember her name, but she was preparing for Pesach, and she very clearly is from a much higher class than my family has ever been. And she had very nice brand new Pesach things. Brand new cedar plate, matzah display case, tablecloth, cute napkins and things like that. And now I don't know for a fact if she gets brand new things every Pesach, but that's the impression that I got. I don't know for sure, so I'm not gonna focus on that. But someone had asked her how she affords all the expensive, kosher, brand new things for Pesach. And her response really bothered me because she said, you have to make it a priority. And it boggled my mind because Pesach is to remember Exodus, is it not? That's why we don't eat leavened bread. That's why we don't eat grains and things like that, right? So why must we have brand new, fancy, expensive Pesach items? The truth is, you don't have to. But the fact that her response wasn't that it's because it's in her means to be able to do so. She said that you have to make it a priority. Hold on. And that really bothered me because it was just sheer classism, which, you know, rich people, they're classist. Nothing wrong with being rich. Everything wrong with how you treat others because of it. I was hoping that she would say something along the lines of, whatever you are able to do for Pesach is just as good. Because I would think that Hashem would want to see effort. You know, during Exodus, you don't have access to fancy crystals. You don't have access to beautiful cedar plates. You know, like, none of that. None of that. So, what does having expensive things have to do with our people being set free and journeying off into the desert? It doesn't. It does not. There are Jews of every class on the planet. There are very horrifically impoverished Jews. There are poor Jews. There are working class, low class, high class, rich, millionaire. There are all sorts of Jews. And you cannot possibly tell me that every single one of them should prioritize brand new crystal glasses to be able to celebrate Pesach properly. You know, I've been dwelling on this for years because it really bothered me. I don't see how the finances have anything to do with the religious or the spiritual aspect of Judaism and its holidays and celebrations. I don't understand, and I never will. And I know this isn't a Jewish ideology. It's that woman's ideology. I would like to turn to go home, please. I'm just so upset to know that there are other fellow Jews out there who are feeling less than adequate because they aren't able to match up with Jews of higher standing, higher financial standing. Having more money will not ever make you closer to God. In fact, I would think God would be more angry at that because you are lacking humility. He's punished, even in the stories, he's punished creatures and plants alike and other people alike for not showing humility. And humble yourself. I don't know. This will always bother me. It'll never not bother me. But what I want to say at the very end of this now is, no matter where you are financially as a Jew, however you are able to celebrate Pesach or other holidays, it's perfectly fine. It's okay. You don't have to have brand new this. You don't have to have brand new that. You don't have to have the expensive stuff. A lot of the stories originate at a time where you only utilized what you had access to. Reference unleavened bread. It takes time to leaven bread, right? But during the journey of Exodus, You didn't have that time. As a Jew, you didn't have time to leaven your bread. Stuff like that bothers me. Happy Pesach. Whatever you're able to do, be at peace that it's okay.